We are live. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday morning, March 30th. We have a very special guest in the house today, Erica Abney.
Hello.
It's this way. Yeah, there you go. Just passed a real estate exam, and she's from Columbus State, so I'm excited to pick the brain of a Columbus State graduate. She's going to be sharing a ton of tips and stuff. She just passed her test 3 weeks ago, Erica?
3 weeks
Is it about
ago.
3 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago.
So
Yeah.
we're going to talk to her and go over all these tips and good information right after this. Well, welcome, Erica. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
So, Erica's, are you nervous? Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Good. Good attitude. Good attitude. So I think the thing I'm excited is, and I've talked with Erica for 3 or 4 months now, probably, but
Yep.
Erica is the first person that's came on to the study group, and that was from Columbus State. She didn't go to hondros, so I'm kind of excited how to ask her some questions about that for my personal preference. But so Erica, tell us a little about you. Where do you live? What you do? Besides,
Um,
yep, go
well, for
ahead.
starters, my name is Erica. I am 22 years old. I went to Columbus State. Columbus State is actually not the first school I went to. I went to OSU Newark for nursing and also University of Cincinnati. So I've kind
Oh,
of been
very
moving
good.
around. I just recently came back to Columbus. So,
Okay, awesome.
and I'm a full-time
How?
hairstylist.
You have you do hair and stuff too. Yeah, you
Yes.
have a couple bit. Yeah, you're a natural entrepreneur. That's what I always
Right.
said.
Right.
Yeah, and you need to be that in real estate. You
I,
have to have that mindset.
right.
So
Right.
you'll,
Right.
yeah, we're excited to have you on the team. So, but let's so how long, just out of curiosity, how long is it take to finish all of your hours at Columbus State? I mean, I know it's
Um,
120 hours, but how long
mhm,
is it since you're on semesters? How long did that
mhm.
take you?
So actually, I didn't go by the semesters. I actually took like a sped up course, so it only took
Okay.
me 2 months.
Oh, okay. So that's not very
Yeah.
long.
hmm I
Oh, okay.
started. I started in I want to say February, October. No, it was mid October and finished mid December.
Okay. That's a lot
hmm
shorter than I thought. So, and
Yes.
did you do that all online or did you go to class?
So two of my classes were online. I had real estate law and real estate appraisal in person, and then PMP and what is the other one?
Finance,
PMP finance.
appraisal. Yeah.
It was finance online. So I
Okay.
kind of split it.
Got it. All right. Did you like doing it online or did you like going in person?
Honestly, I felt like in person was better for me. I
Okay.
tend to not pay attention to my online classes.
Oh, okay. I understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
I feel like it's easier. You're more involved when you go in person.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you have the time and the flexibility to do it, I mean, I think in person's always best for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%. So, okay. Well, then, it didn't take you very long. So I guess one thing is, like, let's jump into things that helped you.
Okay.
Like, how did you study? Because we're used to saying, "Oh, I studied the Hondros book and these whatever,"
Right.
but what did you do to help you study?
I feel like once you added me to the study group, once I was added to the study group, I kind of
Mhm.
before I started studying, I did my research on what other people were studying and people that passed. So I kind of
Okay.
just did my research so I could see what would work because I felt like it wasn't really necessarily how you study, but what you were studying.
Right.
So I actually studied. I went through all of the CompuCram assignments and also the PSI
Okay,
practice.
so when you say CompuCram, that's a Hondros, uh,
Yes.
so you bought that?
Yes, I bought the
Okay,
CompuCram, yeah, that one, and then the
okay,
PSI.
okay, so you bought CompuCram, and then you bought the PSI exam
Yep, and
for
those
50
were the
bucks.
only two things I studied.
Really? Okay. Did you ever get I know we talked about it, and I don't think you did. Did you ever get access to a Hondros book?
No. I
Really?
could
Okay.
have, but I just didn't.
Yeah, and you passed it your first time.
I passed the
That's
first
a
time,
yeah.
surprisingly.
Yeah, that's so good, and
Yeah.
so, yeah, that so, I guess I'll back up, and if anyone has any questions for Erica, go ahead and put them in the chat. Comment section below on the either Facebook or YouTube, and it'll show up, and you can ask Erica live. So it's 11, a little after 11 o'clock, Monday. Oh, it feels like a Monday, Thursday morning, March 30th. So we just have one popped in. But yeah, if you haven't have any questions for her, we just have a congratulations. Thank you for that.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Yep. So if you have any questions for her, we'll post it and she can answer them. So,
Yep.
so you felt so. How did you use CompuCram and how did you use PSI? Like, how did you study and how much?
Um,
And how did you? What was your style?
with CompuCram, I started with CompuCram. So the way
Okay.
CompuCram is set up, there's like different, what do you call it? There's what do you call it? They're split into sections. Each topic that's on the test, they're split into
Hmm.
sections. So
Okay.
I work a lot. So I would go through and I would finish like two or three sections per day because there was like 20 sections on there. So I would
Okay.
finish like two or three each day. That was my goal. And I would try to get at least 100% on all of them. That's what
Got
I started with. But as I got closer to taking the real exam, I started using PSI because I felt like CompuCram, it would help me like understand a lot of the information, but
hmm
PSI was kind of worded more close to the actual exam, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. So
Yeah.
you thought PSI after you took the exam and you were thinking, reflecting back on it, you thought PSI's questions on their practiced exam questions were better than the Hondros CompuCrammer.
Definitely. I feel like
Okay.
it kind of reflected the real exam more. I feel like
Uh,
but at the same time, I feel like you should have the questions asked in different ways so that when you see it on the
that's a
exam,
good
you
one.
recognize the correct answer.
Okay. Yeah, and we've been, I don't know, maybe the last 3 or 4 interviews, the hot question was, and I think, we probably sold a lot of PSI exam,
Hmm.
memberships because we talk about it a lot, and
Yeah.
everyone's saying that, for $50, it's worth the money. Is that what
It's
you're saying,
definitely
Erica?
worth it. And there's
Okay.
like 500 questions on there. So, like if you go through all of the questions, I feel like, what did you miss?
Yeah. Yeah, and you did not do the crammer. You didn't pay for the
No,
crammer, right?
I
Okay.
would have, but honestly, I don't feel like I had enough time. But if I had more time, I would definitely have done the Kramer as well with the PSI exam.
Okay. Do you feel because you just you did it a little different than a lot of guests that come on. Do you
Mhm.
feel that you're like an exceptional test taker, meaning you always get super high scores on tests, or are you or you're like, I don't really do very good on tests, but I think it was enough, or you know what I mean?
I feel
Because a lot
like,
of people are oh,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Erica.
no, sorry. I feel like since I've um been in school for a while, that I have learned how to take a test better.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I didn't used to be good at taking tests. I feel like I feel like you can do whatever you put your mind to. And
Right.
I was determined to pass, so I feel like that's why I passed. If I wasn't as determined, then I don't feel like I would have passed. It was just my dedication to passing.
And when you say dedication, how much so once you finished, so you start in October and then you get
Mhm.
done December around
Yeah.
Christmas time. How hard did you study before you took your exam? How hard?
Um,
Because you had about 45 days after you got
mhm.
out of classes. Did you study 5 days a week? 2 days a week? Does that make sense?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really start studying until February 1st. So I took my exam around March 7th or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't really start studying until February 1st. So when I did first start studying, I was only studying the CompuCram. I studied CompuCram all the way up until like the end of February. And then I say I would study about, I was doing a lot of hair. So I would study like probably about 3 or 4 days out of the week each
Okay.
week. Probably about, I would say about 3, because I don't feel like I was going as hard as I should have at first.
Okay. Oh, now you're getting cocky, Erica. Your time.
I
You
wasn't.
passed your first time, and you're like, I could have studied harder. Well, you passed it. So,
Yeah.
did you now when you say you study 3 days a week, like an hour a day, 3 hours a
Um,
day, 20
about an
hours a day?
hour and a half, 2 hours a day.
Okay. I think that's what we teach on our exam prep class
Mm-hmm.
for our agents is just a couple hours a day for like
Yeah.
2 weeks. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Quality studying. You
Yeah.
just get burned out. I don't like it when I hear students say that, like, oh, I study 8 hours a day. Like
I
you
was
just
about to say, see, I seen somebody say that they study 8 hours a day, and I was like, maybe I should try that. Like, maybe that's what I need. But I don't really feel like that's what I needed. I feel like it was more so consistent studying, so it could be locked
Mhm.
into my head.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Don't you can really overstudy and burn yourself out. So but again,
Yeah.
everybody at home, we're live. It's a little after 11 on Thursdays. So if you have any questions for Erica, put them in the comments section in YouTube or Facebook, and she can answer them for you. So where did you take your exam? Which testing center?
Um, what is there one in Gehenna?
Groveport. Is that what you're
Groveport.
thinking?
I believe it was Groveport.
Is it by the Rickenbacker Airport? Is that the one
I have
southeast?
no idea. I
Okay.
have no idea. I know I
Okay.
was
There's
close
one in
to,
Dublin and there's one in Groveport. I'm guessing if
maybe it was, I don't know. I know it was
it's
close to
probably
Tuttle
Groveport.
Mall because that's where I went right after.
The mall,
Yeah, it was close to
Tuttle
Tuttle
Mall.
Mall.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's Dublin. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Did you ever go to the testing center before that day?
No, I don't feel like I really needed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You found it all right and
Uh-huh.
it was easy to find. Okay. I know
Yep, it
the
was easy
Dublin
to find.
one, you thought it was. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people that go to Dublin always get confused a little bit because like you got to park on the backside of the building, and then they get was that um that's what I've
Um,
I've never tested there personally. So
no, I just parked in the front and walked in the front door, and as soon as you walk in the front door, it's right to the right of you. So I didn't like
okay,
have any trouble. It was really easy for me to find
okay, yeah,
it.
you were like smooth as a smooth as glass,
I tried.
ice in your veins, Erica.
I was dedicated.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, some people come on and they're just all nervous but
Yeah.
you're stone cold. That's your new nickname, Erica Stone Cold Abney. All right,
Stone cold.
um, that's right. But so did you have plenty of time to take your exam?
um, yeah, I believe we had. They give you like in total, I believe it's like 3 or 3.5 hours. And
3 hours.
actually, I think I finished early.
Most people do. Are you what now? You say you finished early. I think you must be a good test taker. But do you feel like you take your time when you do a test? Or you're like, oh, I go in and just rip it out, and I'm out.
I take my time until I feel like I'm thinking too hard.
Okay, so you do
If I
nice and steady.
Yeah, I feel like if I feel like I'm thinking too hard, then I'll just, read the question, reread it, look at my answer choices, and then whatever I feel like is like that's the one. I'll just pick it and go to the next one. Because when I don't want to stress myself out doing the test.
Okay, so if you do nice and steady, you read
Hmm.
the question, you
Yep.
reread it again. Why did you reread it a second time? For
To
that's a
make
good
sure,
tip.
yeah. I reread it a second time to make sure I'm not um reading it too fast or misreading. Because sometimes it says, like it'll have the word accept in it. and I may
Mhm.
skip over it if you read it too
Yeah.
fast, and then that's like a you just missed the question. Even if you would have known it, you missed the question because you didn't reread it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good one. Yeah, make sure you have plenty of time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and Erica's saying like, yeah, I read each one not once but twice, and I
Mm-hmm.
still got done early.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
I've heard students say, "Oh, I would read the question 7 or 8 times." Then it's like, okay, that's not right. That's too much. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But
then you're
yeah,
overthinking it.
yeah, the overthinking will kill you. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people that'll get a 60, 65 on it, which actually is pretty. I mean, you're right there.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
two
close.
yeah, 2 or 3 more, answer
Hmm.
questions you'll be passing
Right,
because you just
right.
need a 70. So, yeah, so just, take your time, read it twice. One thing, we talk about this, so it's a little redundant if people have watched it, but did
Hmm.
you feel, you have 4 answers.
Hmm.
Did you feel that all 4 answers were really tricky, or do you feel like a couple of them were like, that doesn't make any sense? Like process of elimination.
Um, I feel like all of the they kind of try to trick you with
Mhm.
letters. So like if there's two words that start with A, like addendum and amendment, they'll try to
Oh.
trick you and they'll throw both of them in there. So it's like if you don't know the correct answer, but you know it starts with an A, you're gonna get confused. So
Mhm.
I feel honestly, I feel like if you know all of your vocabulary, you'll be good.
Okay.
Because
Let's
then you
talk
can,
about that.
yeah,
Let's
you
talk
can.
about vocab.
Okay.
Yeah. I get that all the time. So you're nice segue,
Hmm.
Erica, is vocab. So how did you study vocab? Because you didn't have a Hondros book. How did you study it?
With CompuCram actually. Before you take, there's like practice tests on there, like quizzes and stuff, and there's also a section where you can study vocabulary in each section. So
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I always call it like keywords for
Hmm.
people at Hondros. That's what we
Yes.
call them, keywords. And that's basically the bold stuff in your chapters. Like
Hmm.
if you know those, hopefully you really know how they work and apply. But if you at least have them memorized,
Hmm.
then
Yeah,
you can
definitely.
kind of process of elimination because it
Uh-huh.
sounded like you, Stone Cold, Eric
Mhm.
Abney, is that you looked at the answer, or I'm sorry, read the question, reread it again, and you're like, okay, I see they're going to try to trick me here. You
Yeah.
looked at the answers and then you maybe eliminated 1 or 2 of them. Did you like process elimination, chose
Yeah.
it, and then you moved on and you didn't go back? You
Yeah.
didn't change stuff?
No, I didn't change. If I didn't know the question at all, I would skip over it and then come back towards the end. It gives
Okay.
you that option to like complete
Mhm.
whatever you missed, whatever is unanswered.
Okay. But, so if you didn't know it at all, you just
Mhm.
skipped it. Why did you skip it? Why didn't you just make it
Because I didn't
interesting
want
again?
to think too hard on it. And then I figured maybe if I go through all of the other questions, I may get a hint for that question.
Gosh, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. Because sometimes,
Hmm.
like 2 or 3 questions in, you'll be like, "Oh, that's what that
Oh,
one."
right.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, that's
aha moment.
yeah, it is. And there
Yeah.
might be 1 or 2 that are
Mhm.
like that. One thing though, I've had people say is they ran out of time and they didn't go back.
Really?
And
Ran out of
yeah,
time?
I know. Well, yeah, that was very rare.
Hmm.
But if you are in a situation that you're running out of time and you did skip them like Erica
Hmm.
did, definitely go back and fill them
I
in.
would definitely go back and
Yeah.
click whatever I can.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because at least you have a 25% chance. And
Right.
one thing too is like, don't like, by skipping it and say, I'll go back to it.
Hmm.
Like some of the math questions, there's going to be some
Yeah.
math questions, and I'll ask you about that here in a second, but that you're just not going to know. You just
You're
don't
definitely.
remember. You're going to miss it. You're going to get an F on that one.
Hmm.
But like to sit there and like struggle through it, and you'll get frustrated.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I think, by you skipping it, I don't know if that's what you were intending, but that's what it'll do. You'll say, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'll get that one next.
Definitely.
I'll get it.
Yeah. I
So,
also feel like skipping it and just I feel like I had a positive mindset throughout the whole test. So, when you keep a positive mindset, it kind of just builds your confidence throughout the whole test.
I agree.
Instead
Yeah.
of thinking like, oh, did I miss it? I'm gonna fail. Just keep
Yeah.
the positive energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll have you on. You could be a coach. We can have you coach because you get
Yeah.
that. Those people that I talk to, like, oh, I'm going to take my test on Monday. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, how do you feel? And they'll say, oh, I'm going to fail it. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, well, don't
Yeah,
even go because you already failed it. Like,
yeah, you can't do that.
yeah, it
Because they
is. And
really
I hate
failed.
that. I hate that for
Yeah,
them. So, but well, what about math? How many math questions did you have? Do you
math.
remember?
I
A
probably
lot.
had about 10 math questions. I think
Oh,
that's
they
correct.
hated you. They saw you
Yeah,
come in and kick the door in,
I think
and
I
they
only
said,
got
"We're gonna."
3 right. I only got 3 out of 10 math questions correct.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not good, but you still
It's not.
passed. So I
I
guess,
passed. I
yeah,
tried, and the thing is, I thought
yeah,
I was gonna get
that's
more
okay.
correct, but they asked stuff. That's why I said like the PSI exam. They kind of the math questions don't skip over them. I was kind of skipping over them because I was listening to other people when they said like, "Oh, there's not gonna be very much math on the test."
Ten's the
There
most.
definitely was math on the test, and it wasn't easy. They were asking about like meals and stuff that I didn't study
Oh,
for.
millage and stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
So let me ask you that: did you you didn't feel like you studied math very much? Is that right?
No, I did. Like I didn't completely skip over math, but I
Hmm.
would, math kind of frustrates me. So
It
I
does.
would, I
It'll
would
wreck your whole
attempt it.
test.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I would attempt it, and then I was getting them right on the practice test. I was, but I'm not. I don't. I'm not sure what happened on the real exam.
Well, 10 is a 10 is a lot. That's the most you can get,
Hmm. Honestly,
and
I was happy about the 3 that I got correct.
yeah, I mean, that combination worked. Usually
Hmm.
you're like it's 8, 7 or 8 is pretty the most common.
Yeah,
Once in a while you'll see a 5. That's the least amount. So
I
yeah,
wish.
yeah. Well, do you remember? I know you talked about millage, but do you
Hmm.
remember any types of math questions for people at home, like that you can kind of
Hmm.
remember at all that they asked you? Because you got the worst of it.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like they were asking me to calculate like gross rent.
Gross
Um,
rent multiplier. Okay.
they were also asking me to calculate property taxes.
Property taxes. Okay.
Yes. Um,
Did you have anything with like down payment or commissions or anything like that?
commission. Yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely. I had commission questions as well.
Okay.
Um,
That one comes up even if you have 5.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's about it. Other than
Okay.
that, mm,
All right. Yeah, very good. Very good.
mhm.
So, is there anything that you studied that you were like, I kind of wasted my time studying that. It didn't really show up on the test, and I got myself a little psyched out.
Not really. I feel like since I did my research before I started studying, because I didn't want to waste my time. Like, we all busy. We have a busy life.
Mhm.
So you don't
We
want to
do.
waste your time studying the wrong things.
Mhm.
So
Right.
since I did my research, not really, but I did I almost bought the PSI. It was like the 2022 book, PSI real estate sales book. And
Mm.
it's supposed to have like questions and vocabulary and stuff in it. And I was reading it, but like I didn't really like it. I didn't feel like it was going to help me. So I
Yeah.
didn't.
How much is that? I don't remember.
I believe it's like $20 or something.
Oh, okay. So it's reasonable. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And you kind of opted out. When you said research, when you say when I was doing my research, what do you mean by that? Like, what did you look
Like I
research?
was a lot of people post in a group chat when they pass their exam, and then
Uh-huh.
they'll put in the comments like, I studied this, and that for this amount.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Also, I watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Okay. Who did you watch? Do you
Um,
remember?
I don't remember.
Like a guy or a girl or what do you
I
remember?
watched a few guys and a few girls. Just
Okay.
recent realtors that have passed their test. A lot of them said like they failed a couple of times, but
Mhm.
they were basically saying like they were studying the wrong stuff
Material. Yeah.
material. Yeah.
It is. It is, a lot of I mean, you have 45, 50 chapters in your
Mhm.
hondros books, and there's only about 14 that's really
Right.
covered.
Right. And that's another reason I didn't want to read, like read the books, because I didn't want to waste my time studying the wrong things.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Hmm.
I always call it quality studying over quantity.
Yeah.
No one
And
has time to read all those books over and over. And
yeah, and I didn't want to do that.
no
I
way.
feel like
No one has time.
I was also watching Prep Agent on YouTube.
Yeah, very
Mhm.
good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and then even on Spotify, there's a lot of um,
Really?
yeah. Our last guest, Jordan, he listed a lot of stuff on podcasts
Mhm.
with when he would drive. He was in law enforcement. When he would
Okay.
drive, he would listen to like vocab, and it was just
Yeah.
like, so when he would go to work, instead of like listening to 90s hip hop rap, he would listen
Yeah.
to Spotify, right? But it was like, 30 minutes each day, and he goes to work 5 days a week. Oh, guess what? Now it's, I don't
Yeah.
know, almost 2.5, 3 hours a week of
Mhm.
extra studying. And he
Right.
passed and did great.
That's what I would do, and I feel like a lot of my days were consumed with me doing hair all day. So like
Mm,
I have a TV in my salon, so I would
okay.
like play Prep Agent on the TV.
Oh,
I know my clients were tired of me listening to it, but I'm
oh,
like, I'm sorry, girl, I got to. My test is coming
that's
up.
funny. Yeah. Yeah, I can just see they usually have some like cool music playing, and
Yeah.
EDM or something, but no, you had Prep Agent,
Today we're
the guy
listening
with the
to Prep
hat.
Agent.
That's great. So, okay, well, any other about and a half hour deep, so you did great, Erica. Any other last tips or anything, or like, hey guys,
Mhm.
don't do this or don't whatever before we get off?
Um, I would just say to make sure you study math, make sure you study vocabulary. Definitely know all of your vocabulary. It will help a lot on the test. Um,
Vocab, okay.
don't rush anything, take your time, and just keep a positive mindset throughout the whole process.
Yeah, and it worked for you. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
you did a little different than a lot of people on here, but it would still work. So, yeah, so definitely,
Right.
PSI and CompuCram helped you out, it sounds
Yep.
like.
And
So,
prep
very
agent.
Prep Agent, yep, yep.
Hmm.
So go to the salon, go to Erica's salon, you can watch Prep Agent. You probably don't have that on anymore, do you?
No.
No, 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 you can't
I
get
was
away
like,
with
yes,
that.
I was so excited when I didn't have to watch that anymore.
Oh, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
It's hard. And guys at home, get this test done now, because when the
Okay.
weather gets warmer, it gets harder because you
Yeah.
want to be outside, your kids want to be outside. No one wants to be stuck in the house or just
Right.
studying for this exam. So
Exactly.
now is the time to finish it up. Just do it. So, all right, Erica. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you.
the Real Estate Exam Study Group.
Mhm.
Erica is one of our new agents, so I'm really excited for you to jump on aboard, and thank you.
Yes,
So,
I'm excited
eh,
too.
yeah, so if you want to be a realtor like Erica, let me know. Send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'd be happy to tell you how much it costs and how that works, getting your real estate license. And Erica, Stone Cold Abney, will help you out too if you need to. So, with that being said, guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.